very warm welcome to all the viewers of Crypto TV. This is Manoj Dara. With us is Marcus Rebellion team, and we are talking to CJ Reichel. He is a senior business analyst with the team. Welcome on Crypto TV.
Thank you very much for having me.
So, can you just take us through the initiative your company is taking and how many products you are having?
So Market Rebellion was founded about 5 years ago with a focus on options and equity derivative strategies. However, about 3 years ago, we saw the crypto market really moving and being very exciting. So we decided we needed to allocate a portion of our capital and resources to that space. And so now we have two products involved in the crypto industry. The first one is called the Crypto Q, which is a newsletter as well as trade ideas and insights that we give to our viewers on a weekly basis. And then the second product is our platform here, that we also publish education, trade insights, and have community interactions with live webinars. So we have about 1,200 members at the current point. They bring a lot of value to our community, and I think it's a really great collaborative place to learn for the beginning and advanced crypto trader.
So, as we are talking about crypto and crypto-related activities, what kind of software you are using for this?
We do a lot of technical analysis as well as fundamental analysis. So obviously we look at things like RSI and very basic aspects of technical analysis, moving averages, things of that sort. But when it comes to fundamental analysis, we like to look at a lot of the layer one blockchains and specifically look at total value locked within these chains, how different things are growing, and a lot of analysis. Also things like where the largest demographics are participating. So before we were just talking about how there's a lot of development on Polygon occurring in India. So there's there's a lot of really interesting stuff.
That's the coin you are recommending for your clients?
Well, we can't give financial advice technically, but I do like Matic. I have a small allocation in my personal portfolio to it. But there are also a lot of other layer one blockchains I like. For instance, Avalanche and Near just did a $200 million deal that is very exciting for their fund.
Why are you attracted towards Avalanche?
Avalanche I think is really interesting because it's got the EVM compatible layer, meaning that you can port projects directly from Ethereum onto Avalanche, and there's a lot of total value locked, and I really like the hedge funds that are supporting it, like Three Arrows Capital and some of the others in the space.
So what's the other altcoins you are preferring as of now?
Well, altcoins are a difficult game sometimes because markets can change so much in just 5 or 6 months. But right now, I really like the development going on in Near Protocol, as well as AVAX and Luna, the Terra ecosystem. I think those layer ones and that trade of the layer one protocols is something that will continue going into the future.
So why you like AVAX?
AVAX, I like the founders. I like the technology. I think it's very superior to certain things. There's also like Trader Joe, for instance, is one of the largest decentralized exchanges. A lot of total value locked in that particular protocol. And, I think their subnets have a lot of really interesting activity going on. And, you just don't see that on a lot of other competitor chains. So I think they are a little bit ahead in that regard.
You mentioned about Luna, the Terra Network as well. So Luna has recently announced that they have pledged to have roughly around 10 billion worth of bitcoins, and they have already acquired roughly around 1.5 billion. So what's your view on this?
I think it's a great idea to have Terra, or specifically UST, backed by essentially digital gold, which is Bitcoin. But another reason why I like AVAX as well as Luna is you have this collaboration. Not only are they backing with Bitcoin, but actually as of yesterday, the Luna Terra Foundation announced that they're going to back UST with $100 million of Avalanche as well. So it's not just Bitcoin, but it's also moving into these other alternative layer ones that I think is very interesting.
Sure. As we are talking about cryptocurrency, what's your outlook on the overall cryptocurrency market, if you can just mention?
I think we're going to be very in line with the NASDAQ, a lot of US equities and the Qs. I think if oil comes down, I think we'll have a good chance at a rally in Bitcoin. But I do believe that we are in a super cycle. Now that doesn't mean we can't have 50% declines or whatnot, but I do believe the lows are in the equity markets, and we should have some bullish price action in crypto going forward.
So CJ, how are you seeing this rising interest rate scenario as far as US is concerned?
Yeah,
and its impact on the cryptocurrency market.
Yeah, well, it's a tough question because Bitcoin has not been battle tested through that rising rate environment. Yeah, this is a great question. I actually asked Tom Lee yesterday.
So actually, the fact, if you go back, say maybe in a decade, so whenever interest rate rises, there is a surge in the stock market as well.
Yeah, typically we can see that tightening. It's definitely playing a massive factor into equity prices and the willing rates of borrowers to buy stocks and bonds and things of that sort. But I think there's a really interesting case to be made. Dan Moorhead recently put out a paper, the CEO of Terra Capital, the oldest crypto hedge fund, about how Bitcoin is one of the most desirable assets to own in a rising rate environment because it doesn't depend on earnings like a stock or things of that sort. So I can see the legitimacy behind that thesis, and I'm really excited to see whether or not it plays out.
So we are talking about cryptocurrency and its universe. There are a lot of other coins as well. What's your outlook on NFT coins?
They're very interesting. I definitely think that they've revolutionized a lot of Web3. They've obviously exploded in value. A lot of the networks are very interesting. One thing with that I think is very interesting is that Solana recently integrated into OpenSea, the world's largest NFT marketplace, which is primarily just Ethereum. So I think as you see more NFT marketplaces built across different chains, it will ultimately not only have value for the NFTs, but it will bring value back to some of the other layer one platforms like it has with Ethereum as well as Solana.
So you find a lot of value in Solana?
Yes, I do like Solana as one of my core holdings.
So, I mean, is there any other, aspect of NFTs you want to touch base upon?
I just think that we haven't truly reached the full capacity and limit of NFTs. I still think there are a lot of interesting applications beyond just art, as well as musicians that we haven't yet discovered. So I'm excited to see the evolution of that space, and I'm very bullish on it.
How do you love or like the Metaverse?
Metaverse is an interesting one. I think there's a lot of room to go in terms of development and what these guys really want to accomplish. But a lot of the largest players, such as Decentraland, as well as Sandbox, they've got billion-dollar war chests. So if they really want to build out a great game or a great metaverse to get a lot of users, I think that maybe we're still 3 years out or something. But I'm really excited to see the development in both Metaverse and GameFi tokens.
So your top 3 favorite in the Metaverse?
Oh, I'm not an expert in the Metaverse. I don't claim to be, but
Sure. What's your view on the game fee?
GameFi, I have not found one particular game that I was really blown away with. I think in order for GameFi to reach the masses, you have to have a game or a product that is not just for crypto natives. I think you have to have something that reaches a mass gaming audience. But I think it will happen in the next 5 years. It's really hard to predict when though.
Can you just explain the derivative strategy you use for your as far as the recommendation is concerned, and you can suggest any derivative strategy for our viewers?
Yeah, so aside from our retail-facing product, we also have a proprietary hedge fund called Rebellion Capital Partners. If you want to learn more about it, it's at rebellioncapitalcrypto.com. But a lot of the strategies that we use on there is that we do have a long bias, but we're not opposed to selling or hedging. So we hold Bitcoin and Ether as well as a lot of the layer one altcoin assets that we discussed earlier. And then about, depending on market environments, we have about 20 to 30%, even up to 40% of the fund allocated in Bitcoin derivatives or option strategies. And that gives us a really good edge to be able to hedge in this volatile markets.
Fantastic. What's your AUM as of now, since you have told you are managing funds on behalf of your clients?
Yeah, so we are a very new fund. So we do have a relatively small AUM. But we're hoping to publish some nice returns in the near future and hopefully raise more money and capital as the space evolves.
Do you accept payment in Bitcoin?
I'm not currently paid in Bitcoin, but I would accept it if it was offered to me.
Why do you prefer? I mean, is this the kind of crypto adoption scenario which you guys are going to create? And this is good as far as cryptocurrencies are concerned?
In terms of payment, you mean? Yeah. I could see it. I think, obviously there's a lot of payment providers here today, and I think it's great that infrastructure is being built to allow people to actually pay in Bitcoin. The one thing that's funny though is that I don't know if people really want to spend their Bitcoin. I think they want to hold on to it.
Wow, fantastic. That's a good thought, and we'll leave at this. Thank you so much, CJ, for talking on the current market situation, and you gave really a good outlook on which coins are doing really well and why there is a lot of traction on those segments and altcoins. Thank you so much for talking to us. It was a pleasure to have you on Crypto TV.
Thank you very much for having me. Hope you guys have a great day.